book called Confessions of a Teenage Jesus Jerk, and I'll read from that. One lone pubic hair sprung out of my baby-smelled pelvis area. I didn't even see it start to grow. It just made its appearance, and it told me more were coming. I raised my hand to my cheek, and I felt for hair, and there was no stubble. One pubic hair below, adulthood cometh. I had a crush on every girl. There was Olivia from history class who stood a foot taller than me. I liked Allison, who said hi to me one time in pre-algebra. I was so nervous I turned around and walked away. I thought she was going to make fun of me for being a Jehovah's Witness. I couldn't understand why a pretty girl would want to talk to me. Allison and her friend giggled, and that was my last chance with them. Jennifer Hansen told me that Camille from our congregation had a crush on me. The next day in school, I sprung into action like my lone pubic hair goaded me to. What do you do if you know for sure a girl likes you? You ask her to go steady. It's the most important thing I learned in 8th grade from the worldly kids. Anyone who wasn't a Jehovah's Witness was worldly. Jennifer and Camille were Jehovah's Witnesses. I needed to kiss someone. Everyone was kissing each other at school. I saw it all over the hallways. Every girl I could have had a chance with was worldly, and I would always walk away when they would try to talk to me. I was a nervous wreck when it came to girls. A few more pubic hairs may have brought my confidence up. Or a mustache. Ben, the Spanish kid in homeroom, had a mustache. He kissed lots of girls. No mustache, one pubic hair below, and Camille liked me. Her breasts were starting to show themselves, and she had full lips over her crooked teeth. Having a girlfriend could show my classmates that being a Jehovah's Witness doesn't mean that I was a jerk like they would call me. Camille liked me, and it would clear up a lot of embarrassing things in my life. So after typing class, after typing the essay on the chalkboard about the flag salute, I had put another piece of paper in the typewriter. Dear Camille, will you go steady with me? From Gabe. My hand shook with nerves as I slipped the note into her locker. Once the note disappeared into the air vent of the dark space of her locker, the deal was done. I saw her the next day, and she smiled at me. The biggest smile I'd ever seen from her, showing all of her crooked teeth. Usually she smiled with her lips shut, hiding her teeth, but she showed them to me, and I waited for her answer. She said, "Hi," and touched my arm. No girl ever touched my arm like that. It was electric. I guess I needed that first pubic hair to get the arm touch. My pubic hair and that touch to my arm worked its way to my mouth. Come here, I said. She followed me out the hallway doors and around the corner. There was a secluded area where no one could see us, with a couple of stairs that led to the janitor's office. The door was closed and we sat on the steps. We stared into each other's eyes. I thought I was going to faint, but I didn't. I reached over and I put my hand on her hand and I let it stay there. She smiled. I couldn't hold her unblinking gaze, and she looked away. I was nervous. It was nervous and getting excited down there. Hand-holding was related to dating and being engaged. In the eyes of the congregation, we were too young to do either. I got scared and put her hand back on her lap. We sat there for a few minutes in silence. Let's go, I said. Camille was my girlfriend. See, being a Jehovah's Witness doesn't mean you're a Jehovah jerk. I got home from school and Mom was awake. She had my note asking Camille to go steady. Betrayed. Mom told me about dating and courtship and how I wasn't old enough to date. I needed to be at least 18. And if I started dating Camille now, it could lead to fornication, and I could be kicked out of the congregation, disfellowshipped. was like Mom saw right through my pants that lone pubic hair. My pubic hair had led me in the wrong direction. Dad called me into his bedroom. He had his Bible in his hands and his King Paul Elder look in his eyes. I heard about Camille, he said. Yeah, old news. Did you touch her? He said. My heart raced. Did Camille tell that we held hands? How bad was that? I didn't answer, but my red face filled in all the blanks. If I was hooked up to a lie detector, it would read off the page screaming, he touched her. They held hands alone, call the elders. I'm going to ask you again, and keep in mind that if you tell me the truth, Jehovah and the elders will consider it a confession, and it will be better for you. Then he bent over close and looked right into my eyes, while I tried to avoid his stare at the ceiling. Did you touch her? I burst into tears. He watched me as I sobbed. I finally let it out. Yes, I touched her, then waited for the wheels of justice to turn. He looked at me disappointed and heavy in the face. I could lose my position as an elder because of this. I didn't realize how far the hurt would go for my sin. I thought I was just having fun with Camille, and I didn't feel it would affect anything else. Camille's mom needs to know. I nodded my head slowly. It was the beginning of the end. Where did you touch her? It was painful to tell Dad. By the stairs near the janitor's office at school, I said, was it her breast or her vagina?
Oh shit.
I looked at him confused. You need to be honest with me, Gay. I touched her hand. We held hands. And that's all we did. It didn't even occur to me that Camille had a vagina. I hadn't thought that far ahead. If I call Camille right now, she'll tell me the same thing, he said. Where's the lie detector? Yeah, I'll call her. You thought we went to third base? I needed to know. Then he read a few pages from the youth book published by the Watchtower Society about holding hands and how it could lead to fornication and fondling of breasts and vaginas. You're not going to call the elders? I asked. I don't need to, he said. I made a mental note of that for future reference. Thanks.